Hey, this is Theo from Orchid. I'm going to talk about some of my influences today, just on my singing and also songwriting. A lot of people don't know it, but I actually do play guitar and help write a lot of the material for Orchid. See right there, that's my 66 SG, Pride and Joy, kind of beat, but a workhorse. I've been singing since I was about 12, I guess, and really, you know, like, I discovered music pretty early as a kid. My mom was really into music, and the first stuff that I ever really listened to was this album. So this album, Rubber Soul, was just a huge influence on me. John Lennon, huge influence on my singing and just my idea of how songs should be put together. This one, you know, the one you'd all expect, I mean, it was just the first Sabbath record that I found, and just blew me away and basically shaped, you know, what I thought music was, especially heavy rock. So lo and behold, you know, Orchid comes out, not surprising. This one, Volume 4, I kind of discovered this one later, but in some ways Volume 4 is really my favorite. I've always felt like it's the junction between kind of the early Sabbath bluesy stuff and the later kind of more experimental stuff, but it's just a huge influence on my songwriting and my singing. Pentagram, of course, you know, this came later, but it's such a part of Orchid, and Bobby Liebling and these guys, just the vibe of the whole thing definitely influenced Orchid. This is stuff that I kind of got from my parents' Tangerine Dream and like 70s kind of early electronica, but definitely has a place in Orchid. A lot of the Moog and synth stuff and whatever, you know, really influences, is really influenced by this. Sisters of Mercy, for me, this is like one of the first bands I ever discovered kind of in my later years in high school that wasn't rock or metal, that kind of led me into other areas, but these early 12-inch singles were such a huge influence on me as far as songwriting, and just like a real downer kind of dirgy trip. The delivery is great. Skinnerd, you know, it's definitely in Orchid in some weird way. I guess the sincerity and kind of the bond between the musicians, these guys just really had something special. So this is 13th Floor Elevators. I'm super into a lot of old psych stuff. 13th Floor Elevators were from Austin, Texas. Rocky Erickson was the frontman. His singing was just incredible to me, super heartfelt. His tone, everything, it's a huge influence on me. Also, this album, you know, as a kid, Iron Butterfly, and it got a DeVita. I just couldn't get enough of it. It's just the vibe of it, kind of dark and heavy in its own way, and the organ and everything. So that's definitely, you know, on songs like Black Funeral, a lot of people would attribute that to completely just Sabbath, but there's a lot of Iron Butterfly and Cream in it in a way. More psych stuff, Chocolate Watch Band, huge influence on me. If you guys haven't, if you like psych stuff and you haven't heard this, you should go grab it. It's a great one. This album came later, you know, but man, it's the only Sabbath one without Ozzy that really touches me, and there's something about it that affects my singing and songwriting every time I pick up a guitar. I guess, you know, it was the Sabbath that I actually got to grow up with in a way that was happening when I was a kid. So in some ways, I don't know, there's something so special about this record to me. Free, Paul Rodgers, huge influence on my singing. You know, he's one of the few white guys that, to me, had as much soul as any guy from Detroit in the 60s, or his delivery, everything, you know, the conviction in the singing really influences me. So, you know, it's funny, I kind of have my heavy rock side and my pop side that definitely goes into Orchid. Obviously, you know, I care about melodic and catchy songs. The Zombies, this album is just like Odyssey, Oracle's an amazing record to me. And there's Trouble. I don't have Psalm 9 to show you guys, but you know, I wanted to have something. Trouble was like the first band that I heard do a kind of Sabbathy thing, And they came out in a funny time because I was really into thrash metal, and you know, I was really young, and kind of had already moved away from classic heavy metal and more into like Metallica and Motorhead, and you know, Exodus, all the Bay Area stuff that I kind of grew up around being here in the Bay Area. But Trouble I heard, and I just, man, I could not get enough of it. There was something about it that just it's really powerful. So Eric Wagner and those guys, Eric Wagner as a singer, definitely influence on me. Rocky Erickson from 13 Floor Elevators. This solo record has Two-Headed Dog on it. Just the singing on here is incredible. It's a great record. My favorite Motorhead record of all time. I don't know why a lot of people would say I'm crazy, but there's something about this one. The guitar playing, Robertson, you know, like there's just something great about this one that really does it for me. And finally, Bill Withers. You know, I'm super into old soul. There's something about Bill Withers and like the rhythms and his style of songwriting that somewhere in there in Orchid, you know, it has influence. At any rate, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry it's a little late, and hope you enjoy the album. Take care.